Lincoln, Lincoln Towncar, yeah. Lincoln Towncar, yeah. So what do we have in today? It is a Lincoln Towncar. She's an old beast, and the paint needs some help, as you can see. Now, we already did a full interior on this vehicle a couple of weeks ago, and if I don't already have the video out for that, wait for it. I will try to do that video first and then this video. If I do have it, I'll put it up in the corner. But this is going to receive a paint enhancement, so not a correction, an enhancement. It's got a lot of deep defects, so we will do our best to really gloss it up, but it looks extremely faded out and swirly. Wheels and tires are not horrible, but there are some areas that do need some extra attention, extra cleaning. Wheel wells and all the bottom portions are really, really nasty. And this may have failed. We're going to have to see what we can do with polishing the pillars. There's a lot of paint on this thing. It is huge. The trunk area is almost as large as the hood. So yeah, there is a lot going on the paint here. Really bad wheels too here in the back. They were probably rotated from the front. I don't know what's on here. Some really heavy etching of something. Somebody likes the sun. Misty. Oh gosh, it's really close. Okay guys, let's get started on this beast. So we finally got our slop sink hooked up, at least the hot and cold water. That was actually really easy to do back here. I didn't make a video on it. It's just plumbing. I'm not a plumber, so I'm not going to bother putting that on video and have people make all sorts of stupid comments. The hot and cold water pipes go right behind there. It was an easy installation with the shark bite fittings. So the only thing I need to do is drainage. I don't have the drainage in here. I just have it plugged. I need to figure out a way to bore through the cement here, so I'll have to do that carefully, and we'll be able to drain it outside into a drain pipe, which is great. But I have AM clay in here, and I'm going to fill this little cup with hot water. So I'll keep the bucket in there for now to collect any water, but I filled this with hot water, and AM clay loves hot water. It becomes nice and malleable, and you can just use plain water when you're clay barring. Yes, just plain water. Plenty of guys do it. In fact, many high-end detailers do it. And this is the best way to do it. Put it in the hot water, let it sit for a minute, and then we'll get to claying. It's really nice and soft. I like that. It's great. Definitely picking up some contaminants. Wow, this thing has a lot of straight line scratches. That is crazy. We also had a few spots on the roof here. Just the middle section, because somebody couldn't reach it. And that somebody's name may rhyme with Messica. Yeah, a little bit of contaminants up here. Okay, now that the vehicle is pulled in, it is all nice and dry. It was clay barred. It's looking really good. We just dressed a bunch of the different plastics and stuff, so we're going to let all of that dwell and dry down. So now we're going to get to polishing. So I have a couple of different choices here. We're going to test out some polishes and see which one works, and then we'll use that for the entire vehicle. So the first one, we have the Puris Jade. This is their Jade A60 caliber, their ceramic silica polish. So it's basically an all-in-one with SiO2 built in. Now this is pretty cool. This stuff can be used to polish, and it can have 3 to 6 months protection on its own. Of course, 24-hour cure time, so unfortunately this vehicle isn't going to be in the garage for 24 hours, but it's not going to rain for a day or two, or hopefully longer. So it will have time to cure completely, and then you'll have the protection. But you can also top this with the Jade Reboot. So this is their A68 Reboot 2.0, their ceramic silica spray. These two can be like a 1-2 punch. You have your polish and sealant already built in, and then you can top it with this. So we'll play around with these two and see how they perform. And then, so we'll start off with those, and then we'll try the Extreme Solutions LVR 403, the foam pad polishing glaze. Now, supposedly, from what I had spoke with Extreme Solutions about, this is basically the same thing as the Helios, just designed for darker cars. That's what I got out of that. So that's why it's darker. It's designed for darker vehicles. So we'll try it on here. And then we also have their trifecta. So we're going to try this stuff out. I've been playing around with this. It seems a little dry, a little dusty, but it could be the paint, it could be the humidity, I don't know, the temperatures, but we'll try it out and see how it works. So let's start with the ceramic polish from Jade first with an Orange Lake Country pad and see how that turns out. So I'm going to start over here in this corner, and let me show you a quick before I get to polishing. So here's the paint before. It's really bad. We're going to try to shoot for 50% or better with this paint because it is really trashed. And we have some heavy straight line marks here that are really bad. So I don't know, those are probably not going to come out 100% or maybe 50%, I don't know. But that's what we're going to try to do with this paint, is just brighten it up and make it look better. It's not going to be a full paint correction, and it's not even going to be an extended paint enhancement, at least I don't think so. We'll see how the paint responds. So this stuff is a nice cream formula. Put about 3 dots, and let's kick it up all the way up to high. Now you may notice that my hand movement is a little faster. I get a lot of goofy comments about you need to do slower hand movements. Not all the time. That depends on your technique and also the service. If I was to go much slower, this would take me much longer. And would the results really be that much better? Probably not. I can say that because I've done it both ways. I have experience. So I will move my arms a little bit faster and wow. And these are the results I get. Do I need to get them any better? That's up to you and what you've communicated with the customer. And if that's your service, depending on what you're charging, I need to kind of stick by my own little hourly rate that I have kind of built into my head. I need to get this done today. I don't have it here for 2 or 3 days. Therefore, I am going to quicken things up enough to be able to get the quality I need and get the job done within the day. Remember, there's 2 of us polishing, so we can get it done in 1 day. Usually I could get a paint enhancement done in 1 day anyway if I was polishing alone, but we'll get this done much sooner than I would have doing it alone. So, wow. All right, this is looking incredible, very dramatic. I don't know if you can see it just from this distance alone. So that is acceptable. That's what we're going for. We're not going for all of the deep removal here. We're not going for that. We're going for this effect. From horrible haziness to nice sharp clarity. We're going for the clarity in the paint, not so much full defect removal. Remember that when you're doing paint enhancements for customers, they're not going to see every little tiny defect that we're seeing here with all these high-powered artificial lights. They just don't want to see that. At least our customers don't. So when we can show them before and after that dramatic effect, that is awesome. That is what they're looking for. They're going to love that. So imagine the whole vehicle looking like that. Even in the lights here, look. That's a huge dramatic effect. It is looking incredible. So this stuff is amazing. I am loving this Jade ceramic silica polish. It's so easy to use. Paired with a pad like this, you can probably pair it with a cutting pad, like a microfiber cutting pad or a Eurofiber pad, and maybe get a little bit more cut. Maybe I'll experiment. I'll try that too and just see. But again, I'm not trying to get out all these defects. I'm trying to gloss it up like this. So again, remember that. If you're a detail enthusiast or you do this on the side and you're trying to shoot for perfection, good for you. But I'm a business. I have to think about things differently. So remember that when watching the videos. But very happy with this so far. These are amazing results.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Takes the haze.
Oh, it's so nice to work with too.
Slickery.
It almost feels like CarPro Essence. That's what it feels like. You want to be on this side or that side? You sure? You want to switch it up? All right, all right. Alexa, play some cool music. Alexa, turn the volume to 8. Wow, that's incredible. That's what we're shooting for, guys. Look at the color. The color is coming back. Nice and deep and rich. Oh, man, that stuff is nice. Yep, very impressed. If you want to get your hands on this Jade A60 caliber, the ceramic silica polish, this stuff is amazing. Easy to work with, very easy. You don't need a lot, and it works really well with the orange pad. These are the results you're going to get. So guys, the pillars here are different than your usual black gloss pillars. You're not going to try to polish these completely perfect gloss. They're different and they could be failing. So I just polished them very gently, and we use the foam pad polishing glaze, so LVR 403, with the orange Lake Country pad on the little Bigfoot Mini. And that did a good job of at least clearing it up. But be careful with these on old cars. You could burn through them pretty easily. But this is as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to go any farther on that because I can tell it's starting to like fail here. So we got to be really, really careful with that. But at least it looks glossy enough. Yep, that'll pass. And I did tape here because the rubbers here are old. You gotta be really careful with them. Well, it is looking incredible. Look at the paint. Wow, what a huge turnaround. It's super glossy. That chrome grill here is all polished. We had to hand polish that, and it looks incredible. But now we are going to move on to all the rubber and plastic trim. So there's a lot of it on here. So we're going to use something for that. I know, that's really deep. Don't look at that. And also the top here has these hard water stains here. They can probably be polished away pretty easily. So you can just hand polish them. We'll show you how to do that. And if there's anything that is not going away, then we could use clear SR. So the last coat sent me an email and they said it's pronounced clear and then SR separately. Not clear zer, but clear SR. I know, that's just me. So let's first use this polish by hand. Let's show you how this can remove some of the ugly water staining here in the sunroof. So I have an old bottle of Speedy Shine from Nanoskin. I forgot I had this. So if you take a little artist brush like this, a long artist brush, and I wrap the head of it because there's metal there, this is perfect for getting into these areas. So let's shake up products. And I just put it right on the end of the brush. It's a pretty thick trim product. You can put it right on the end of the brush, like so. And I'm just going to work it in precisely so it doesn't get too much onto the paint or the glass. It'll get a little bit, but this works any protectant of your choice into rubber gaskets like this for windows, especially for older cars. They have this. So now this works really well getting into these areas with minimal, glass and paint smudging. That works really well. So let that sit for a little bit and then we'll wipe it off. And you can see the difference it makes with the trim. Nice. I forgot I had this and I actually really like it. So this material here is a weird composite material of some sort, and it's really annoying to work with. Doesn't always dress up, but I'm going to dress it anyway. It's probably going to absorb it, and then you won't even notice that it was dressed. Sometimes it does that. It's just annoying material. I'll put it on really heavy, and then it'll soak in. It might stay like this. I really don't know. You never know with this type of plastic, but we'll let that sit. So we just applied the Griot's Garage glass sealant. I really like this stuff. It can last up to 3 months or so, and I'm going to layer it. So after polishing the glass, it wasn't really meant to remove those wiper marks. You have to get a rayon pad and you have to be kind of aggressive, but I really don't try to do that too often or at all because you can risk warping the film in the glass. So be careful. I know a lot of guys will do that, but just tread carefully with it. Some of these scratches are too deep. Anyway, that Ceraglass polishes the glass really well, deep cleans it. That's really what I wanted it for. And then you can apply your protection. It will last longer, it'll bond better, and it does a great job. So, one layer, I'll probably give it 5 minutes or so, and then I'll go right back over it with a second layer and let that dry for 5 or 10 minutes, and then wipe off. And I'll show you how we wipe that off. But in the meantime, we're using the Jade A68 Reboot. So this is a maintenance topper, a maintenance type of product, but it can be used as a standalone sealant. So on top of the all-in-one ceramic polish already that's made by Jade, this will bond to it and give an amazing gloss and amazing hydrophobic ability. So let's just see the application because it's very easy. And does it make it nice and slick? How does it feel?
Oh, slick.
Nice.
No residue.
Good. Yeah, seems very easy to use. And you already coated the whole car, so this is just for demo purposes. The whole thing is already coated and done, so as I was filming other things, she got it all completed, so that's great. But look at the paint, guys. Amazing. The gloss, the depth, the color has been brought back. Yep, it looks so good. All the chrome pieces, man, for a 2004, this thing is looking amazing. So this looks pretty good. After a while, it just soaks right in. I actually didn't wipe it. Wow, I guess it's dry. I didn't wipe it at all. It looks really good. Now the inside is still looking great. He actually got Husky liners. So if you haven't seen the interior video yet of this, then I'll have it either linked below or up in the card. So check that out because this turned out amazing. Now the pillars look good, but look at the haze there. They're starting to fail. So we had to be very, very careful about polishing them. But, I mean, they do look nice and black and glossy, so that's good. But look at the paint. Oh, look at it in the sun. That is beautiful. Remember how the trunk looked? That looks really nice now. It's looking great. Huge turnaround. Last thing to do, or one of the last things to do, try to help these wheels. So I'm going to use some compounds and see if we can remove that because no chemical would touch it. So for the tires, we're going to use the Enzo Orbit tire dressing. This stuff is nice. I know, it's very, very fancy. But the finish is awesome. Nice. So guys, if you are interested in any of the products that we're using, the really nice products like the Enzo brand or any of the other products that we're using, check out the links below. They'll go to either Car Supplies Warehouse, Amazon, AliExpress, or Extreme Solutions. So check out the links if you are interested. So I'm going to use a couple of different compounds here. This one is actually another all-in-one from Extreme Solutions. They're Extreme Microfiber Cutting Cream and Polish. This is kind of like D300 with a sealant in it. Really awesome stuff. The D300 is from Meguiar's. That's their correction compound. But this does have protection in it. It actually smells just like it. It smells like the cinnamon. But this stuff works very, very well on the paint. But let's see if we can maybe polish. Oh, look at that. Whoa. Well, that made a big difference. Yeah. I mean, there's damage on here, obviously, but that did make a difference. Well, some of this down here doesn't want to budge. Yeah. A lot of it is actually corroded into the wheel
and there's nothing I can do about that. It is, it's pretty much messed it all up.
Yeah, these wheels would have to be refurbished for them to look normal again. But this at least makes a difference. It makes it look better. I know some guys are going to say, oh, you can use acid. Look, guys, don't go so aggressive, especially on older cars. It's just not good.
Not good business practice either to go that aggressive when the customer already knows that these wheels are kind of trashed. Why go even further and potentially damage them further? You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to risk using stronger acids on this.
So we're going to take a little break and go for a little walk today. It's actually really beautiful out. It's slightly chilly, but it's nice fall weather. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why are we walking with vests? Because in this area, it's hunting season, and we have 10 acres of land all around us, so the hunters are out. You got to be careful. So we have our high-vis vests on just to be safe. And you may also notice that the quality looks a little different, the video and the audio. That's because I'm actually using this new little Tech pocket camera. So I wanted to take a minute to show you guys this camera. The quality of it is completely raw. It's no editing done to either video or audio, just to show you guys what this little thing can do. Now, this little camera is supposed to rival the DJI Osmo little pocket camera, and there are some pros and cons. I guess a pro is the price. It is more affordable, and it has many of the same features. It's missing a few key features, like being able to plug into your phone, which is really cool. I think that's one thing that DJI does that definitely goes beyond what this camera can do. And it does have a little tiny touch screen, so when you put it in selfie mode, you can actually see yourself in it and be able to touch the screen and be able to do all sorts of different options on here, which is really cool. So I'm actually recording in 4K at 60 frames per second, and the quality does look really good. Any lower than that, the quality suffers and it doesn't look as good. At least to me it doesn't. So, whoop, look at her, she's already walking away from me. So I am recording in full 4K 60 frames per second, which is really cool. Now, when you get a camera like this and you're recording in 4K, you need to make sure that your SD card is a fast write SD card. You got to look for that. You got to make sure that it can write extremely fast and that it's rated for 4K. If not, this little camera can't keep up, and most cameras can't keep up. So it'll basically shut down after a couple of seconds of recording and say the write speed is too slow. So keep that in mind if you are going to be going to 4K. But this little thing takes a little micro disc, so the micro SD. So I got 128 gig micro SD, and really they're affordable. They're not that expensive. They're coming down in price. If you get the super pro level ones, they're pricey, but you don't need to go that far. So this thing actually has a built-in little gimbal head. I'll show you what the camera looks like in just a moment when I'm done talking about it. The size of it is just incredible. Oh, vehicle. The size of this thing is pretty impressive. It is tiny. It fits in the palm of your hand, and I actually have this little cheap tripod attached to it just so I have extra length and I can hold it a little bit easier, a little bit better. That's another pro, is the size of it. It's literally a pocket camera. It's called the Tech Pocket for a reason. Now, some of the cons: the quality is good, but it's no professional level by any means, and I'll use it for some of my videos because it's just so nice to be able to pull out really quick and record things really fast. But the quality does lack a little bit, especially with the audio. So if you want good audio, you're going to have to record separately. I do have a little lav mic that I'll put on for my videos, and I'll get good audio that way and just sync it in post. That's not a big deal either. Get one of those little Zoom H1N recorders. They're about $100, and the quality of their recording is excellent. The battery on this thing is pretty decent. I've been using it for a week on and off, and I haven't even charged it yet, and it's just about halfway, maybe a little less than halfway right now. So Battery life is pretty good on it, but if you're recording in 4K, again, it will eat through your batteries. Now the batteries on this thing can also be replaceable. You can open this little device up and then get replaceable batteries for it. And it charges via mini USB? Nope, USB-C. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty universal. Another con, I guess, is the speed of the gimbal head. If you turn it like this, you can hear the little servos in there struggling to keep up. So it's not super fast, but you don't want it for an action camera necessarily like that. You may want it for vlogging and just picking up on the go, recording really fast, really quick. So all in all, it's actually pretty decent. I like being able to hold it. It's very, very light, and you can just take it with you on short trips and be able to talk vlog style like this. So let me show you what the camera looks like. So here's the little camera. Look how tiny it is. It is tiny. Yeah. So I put this little tripod on. It's just a cheap little tripod that came with one of my cameras years ago. Ooh. Good thing that wasn't the camera. But yeah, it's just a cheap little tripod. See? But it screws onto the bottom here. So you can put this onto any normal camera tripod. So that's pretty standard. But here is the camera itself. So you have the little micro SD card there. You have your on and off switch. Let me turn it on. The batteries might be almost dead. Oh, okay. No, they're working. They're fine. So here's the touch screen. It's actually really nice. Very easy. Very intuitive, too. It's actually very simple to use. It's nothing really complicated. And if you're used to using any type of gimbal, this is the same as any other gimbal. The functions on it as far as the panning and all that stuff. So you see it has the pan, or it doesn't have the pan. It's all follow. So left, right, up, down. It moves very smoothly. And then you can change the modes by hitting the mode button here. So that will change different modes. So now you can do pan follow. So the little head stays stationary, which is really cool. But if you turn the device left or right, it will turn slowly. I actually like this one the best. It's the nicest to be able to go around a vehicle and show before and afters. So you can very simply maneuver the device like so and hold it very comfortably as you scan or pan across things. So that's actually a really cool function. I use that one the most. But basically, as far as all the functionality, I'm not going to go into depth all about that because you can find plenty of videos on all the different features that it has. I'm basically making this video just to show you the quality of it and, you know, the use of it, how we actually can use it in our YouTube videos. So it's a good beginner camera. For pros or anyone really doing a ton of YouTube videos, you want to upgrade your equipment to something better, a nicer mirrorless or DSLR camera with nicer lenses and all of that. But for quick little shots, like if I'm cleaning certain portions of the vehicle and I don't want to have this bulky camera in there, or I can't fit it in there, then that's where a camera like this really becomes handy, because you can quickly and easily just grab it and turn it on. And with this, you know, with these little tripod thingies, you can put it on any type of different tripod. You can actually set it, mount it, and have it pointing right at whatever you're doing and be able to get your shot pretty easily. And again, for the price of it, its affordability, the quality is decent. I'm not going to say it's perfect or it's excellent or it's better than any DSLR, because it's just not. It's just not that level. It's not that great. But for what it is, a small little action camera, it gets the job done. And because of its size and affordability, it's cool to have. For beginners, this would be great for just quick vlogging. It will work out great. But again, remember the audio on it, not that great. So have a separate audio, have like a separate lav mic recording into the Zoom H1N or a separate recorder, like a pocket recorder, and then you can sync it in post. So yeah, it's pretty decent. All right, that does it. This thing is looking incredible. Guys, I'm really happy with this stuff. The Jade A68 Reboot 2.0. So I guess they had one version and they upgraded it or they improved on it. So this stuff you can put on anything. Now, I haven't used it as a drying aid. I don't know if it can be used with water. No, it says that it needs to be applied dry. So that's fine. You can dry the vehicle if it's ceramic coated or whatever, and then just apply this onto the dry panels, onto your towels, whatever. It produces an awesome slick finish with no smearing or residue or anything like that. So very, very easy to apply. Now, I love to use silica sealants like this on top of all-in-ones, and I do want to try to stay in the same range, the same, company. So the Puris line, I have their compound, their ceramic polish, and now this, and I also have their other little silica sealant spray coating. So all in conjunction. You can use all these products all in conjunction. We could have used that, but that is more of a spray coating, so we didn't charge for that. We're just charging for a paint enhancement and a silica spray sealant. So I know it's a little bit of a difference. Sometimes it's just splitting hairs, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to get amazing protection and gloss with these products here. So let's take a look around. Wow. Yup. He is going to love this. The wheels look better, but the brake dust really ate into the wheels, unfortunately, so nothing we can do there. Tires look awesome. That Enzo Orbit tire dressing is beautiful stuff. But look at the paint. I know there are some really bad straight lines there along the entire side. And we weren't going to try to attack those because then we would have to be going into paint correction, and that's not what the customer is paying for. So the glossiness and the depth, that's really what the customer wanted. So now the paint looks incredible. You know what? Well, I'd put it into the sun or pull it outside, but it's mostly shade here. So yeah, I'd have to bring it all the way down there, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep it in here. But you can see in the sun here how nice it looks. Hey! Somebody took away the sun. Oh well, that's okay. I know, you can see better with these lights, with the artificial light. The sunlight, I think, is not as harsh, and it's much nicer, but it still looks incredible. Wow. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to wipe off this. This is the second coat on the windshield. I'll do that in a moment. I'll show you guys how we do that. So, beautiful. It is looking incredible. A nice rescue effort to really bring back the shine on this vehicle.
That isn't working.
I know, you can't wipe it off dry. You have to wipe it off with a little bit of a secret recipe. Water? Distilled H2O. And then it'll wipe off. And you don't have to worry about durability on that. It's designed to do that, so it's not a problem. Just like Rain-X, you can do the same thing with Rain-X. Apply it, let it haze, and then a mist of water, or even a damp towel, and then a dry towel. So that's just the way it is. It's already bonded to the glass. It's been about 10 minutes or so. Wow, man, this is looking so nice. All the handles were polished, hand polished underneath. They look amazing. The sticker back here was removed and polished, or the paint was polished. Now, we do have some really, really heavy defects here. If the customer wants to go further, he said if they want to go further, you could go full paint correction and we can really attack these, but I don't know if I want to do that with the age of the vehicle. This is probably where we should keep it. Don't go overboard trying to do full paint corrections on older vehicles unless the customer is paying for it, understands the risks, and you understand the risks, that the paint may be thin and it is old, so you have to tread carefully. And there's already something weird about this paint. I think it was repainted. You see the texture? Yeah. So it's not like that on the adjacent panels. So this may have been repainted. I don't know when. So, that makes things a little bit more difficult, and you don't want to be digging too much into the vehicle. But guys, overall, it looks incredible. All right, guys, so the Lincoln Towncar is finished, inside and out. I know we didn't do the inside today. It was done a couple of weeks ago, but finally the vehicle is complete. It's what the customer wanted. He's actually redoing a few things inside and out. The front bumper needs to be painted, and the inside still needs to be repaired on a few areas. So it's a work in progress, and this is kind of a special vehicle to the customer. So he wants this thing looking as best as it reasonably can be. And I gotta say, it is really looking beautiful. A great rescue job. I love working on some of these older vehicles and bringing them back. You know, it's nice to work on brand new vehicles because they're fun, they're brand new, and they're great to work on. But this is just kind of a nice little challenge to see how the paint is going to look before and after, you know, and trying to do as much as we safely can on this vehicle. So what are some of the products we used today? Well, we used the Puris ceramic polish. This is the A60 caliber. Now, this stuff you can pick up at Extreme Solutions on their website. This stuff is impressive. I'm going to compare it to, say, CarPro Essence. It's very easy to apply, easy to remove, nice, slick, glossy finish, and it has protection built in. Now, granted, if you wanted to wait 24 hours, this would cure, and then you can put a coating on top of it. Jade does have their own line of coatings. I also have their spray coating, which is really, really nice. That can offer up to a year protection if you're maintaining it properly. And then we have their A68 Reboot. Now, this stuff is like CarPro Reload. So you can use it as a maintenance topper or maintenance product, or you can use it as a standalone sealant. It's very easy to apply. Again, I have to say, working with these two products were extremely easy. It was just like working with CarPro Essence and CarPro Reboot. That's CarPro Reboot. Reload. Reload. Oh, my brain is not working. It's the end of the day. CarPro Reload. Reboot, Reload. They're so close. Basically, that's what I compare them to. That's the way they work for us. Might not be exactly on the same level, but pretty close. I mean, they are silica polishes, so they have SiO2 in them, just like the CarPro stuff does. So, awesome products. I loved working with these today. They were great. Now, the other products that we did kind of play around with and we used just to see how they worked was the Trifecta and their foam polishing glaze. So this is kind of like the Helios, I believe, just made for darker vehicles. I did try them and they do work really, really well. The only gripe I have with the Trifecta is it seems a little dry. It doesn't have a very long working time, at least it didn't for me. I don't know, maybe it was this paint. I used it on another vehicle and did the same thing. So it's slightly dry, slightly dusty, and the wipe off is slightly problematic. However, this stuff can also be very, very durable. So from what I've been hearing and talking with other fellow detailers, the Trifecta is like speed on steroids. Does that even make sense? Basically, it's an all-in-one that is extremely durable. And I believe too, if you let this cure 24 hours, you can put a coating on it as well. So I'm very much into that. This product here too, the Helios polish and the foam polishing glaze, they are acrylic products. So they will cure after 24 hours, and then you can put any coating right on top of it without an IPA wipe down. That's very important for me at least, because if you're working on dark colored vehicles or finicky paint, you don't want to touch it with an IPA. At least I don't. That's just me. That's what I have found. So products like this can really save you. Yes, it extends your working time another day, but that's okay. It's going to be well worth it. Just plan that into your estimate when you do talk to the customer and let them know. Another product we used on the trim was one that I've had for actually quite a few years, and I just kind of forgot about it. I've used it on other bumpers and it works really well. The Nanoskin Speedy Shine. So this stuff is an exterior trim bumper entire gel. So it is a gel formula, and I think it works really, really well. I've actually restored bumpers on old RAV4s and CRVs, the older ones that have all that plastic, and I restored the plastic with this stuff, and it did an incredible job. The durability on this could go up to maybe 2 months or so, and that's pretty impressive because then you can just reapply it. Very, very easy to apply. So I really like this stuff, and you saw I used it with a little brush to get into all these little intricate areas, and it worked really, really well. So if you are interested in any of the products that we used, again, check out the links down below. They'll go to either Car Supplies Warehouse, Amazon, AliExpress, or Extreme Solutions, or any other place that I can find these products. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like it, share with others who may enjoy it or benefit from it, and don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss stuff. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great week. Take care.